Guys, welcome. You're listening to Phil of Philby Gaming. Regular followers of my channel will have noticed that I put up a vote pretty recently, with me asking you all which choice of 3 videos you wish to see the most concerning Red Dead Redemption 2. And by a landslide, you guys voted to hear about one fact or secret from every mission. So today, that's what we're doing. Of course, this will include the epilogue too. Some details you may already know, and some you may not. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit like and subscribe, and turn on notifications too to be the first alerted when a new video is produced. This is strictly one piece of information per mission, so if there's any that you think should have made it in, let me know via the comment section below. Also, if you wish to get in touch by any other means, you can find me over on Instagram, that's at Philby Gaming. I want to quickly point out, this is only containing facts about the primary story, not the side quests. It goes without saying that there will be obvious spoilers ahead for the title, so if you haven't finished the main campaign, I would advise to add this to your watch later section and come back when you have. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into today's content. One fact about every mission in Red Dead Redemption 2. Chapter 1, COLTER. Outlaws from the West. This is the only time throughout the entire game that you are able to ride Charles's horse, Taima. Enter pursued by a memory. The in-game tutorial advises you to drink to replenish your stamina. If you don't, a secret scene with Javier will occur, where he gives you a sip of his bourbon. The aftermath of Genesis. If Arthur only wounds a deer while hunting and then leaves it to perish by its own accord, he will lose honour. Old friends. If you spared the O'Driscoll back at Sadie's barn, he will appear in this mission and is one of the first ones you can kill.
And you didn't tell him nothing. Not a word.
We have to move on this right now.
Who the hell is Leviticus Cornwall? If you let Lenny lead, he will be the one to fight the train conductor and stop the train instead of Arthur. Eastward Bound. After completing this mission, you will have finally unlocked free roam. Now on to Chapter 2, Horseshoe Overlook. Who is not without sin? After rescuing the Reverend, you can interact with the other gang members while carrying him, with each having different dialogues.
O'Driscoll boy.
Who's that, the Reverend?
Hi, Jack.
Is he asleep?
Exit pursued by a bruised ego. Hosea will make different comments depending on what horse you choose to purchase.
Interesting choice. How much did you pay for that thing?
Not that much.
Looks like a nice animal you got there. You happy?
Guess we'll see.
Polite Society, Valentine style. On the trip into town, where the girls mess up the song, it was real, and intentionally left in the game to add to the authenticity. Americans at Rest. When Charles throws the chair during the bar brawl, it was actually Benjamin Byron Davis who provided the motion capture, the actor behind Dutch Vanderland. The Spines of America. You can interact with Bob Crawford for a hidden cutscene, prompting a hidden stash.
Where's the money?
Ain't got no money, mister.
Money lending and other sins. If you try to wear a mask when beating Thomas Downs, the cutscene will automatically remove it. A Quiet Time. When Arthur is that drunk that he thinks everybody looks like Lenny, there is a hidden scene if you head upstairs.
Hey!
Paying a social call. Shooting the women in the camp will result in a loss of honour. The first shall be the last. You can either shoot Sean's rope or cut it down. You will get a slightly different scene depending on which. Blessed are the meek. There are different ways to free Micah. You can either use the steam donkey, dynamite, or just shoot up the Lord instead. We loved Once and True. After Jamie makes a break for it, you can kill the Chelonian leader for a hidden cutscene.
He has fallen, so we must rise! We rise!
An American pastoral scene. After completing this mission, you can return to Micah's hermit camp and find an old bounty poster for Dutch, indicating that Micah had plans to betray them all along. A Fisher of Men. Arthur reaches for his sidearm to kill Agents Milton and Ross, but decides against it because Jack's in his presence. Pouring forth oil. According to the trailer, Lenny and Bill were originally supposed to be part of this mission. The sheep and the goats. If Arthur has enough money to purchase the rifle, it will still be free. If he doesn't, he will say he's taking it on credit. A strange kindness. This isn't the only time where we see this German family. Now on to chapter 3, Clemens Point. The New South. If you choose to go fishing towards the end of the mission, you will hear a funny story about the gang's past, back when it was just Dutch, Hosea and Arthur. Further questions of female suffrage. Instead of going straight to the post office, if you follow Sadie into the store, you will learn of some hidden dialogue.
How can I help you, miss?
It's Mrs. So I need potatoes, carrots, onions, flour, oats, salt, eggs.
American distillation. After capturing the moonshine wagon, you can follow Bill back in real time and witness him dropping off the cart in a hidden location. An honest mistake. The squatters that the Pinkertons interrogate are the same ones from the side quest for Jeremiah Compson. The Course of True Love 1. You can sell Bo's gift. The Course of True Love 2. If you have sold the gift, it will prompt a different scene with Penelope. And The Course of True Love 3. You don't just have to walk away with Bo at the rally, you can turn and fight his cousins. Advertising, the new American art. Both Hosea and Arthur were intended to dress up in costumes for this mission, but this was later cut from the game. Preaching forgiveness as he went. When escaping Shady Belle, if Arthur goes off track, Lenny will comment that they should have run into someone by now, but if he stays on track, they will indeed encounter the enemy. The fine joys of tobacco. Staying true to authenticity, the game will not rain the entire time you're in Rhodes, allowing the tobacco fields to burn much easier. Magicians for sport. If you kill one of the campers from afar, an entirely new scene is introduced. Friends in low places. You can skip the entire singing scene with Josiah and Chester Damson by shooting at the caravan early. This will give you an entire new scene with Josiah upon completion.
How did we do?
Well, aside from all the shooting and getting shot at, we did fine. Here.
Thank you.
Horseflesh for dinner. There are 3 different outcomes at the stables. You can kill the guard, subdue him, or wait until he's finished talking and Javier will deal with him. Each one has its own unique dialogue. Sodom back to Gomorrah. This title is a reference to the biblical towns of Sodom and Gomorrah that were destroyed in the book of Genesis. Blessed are the peacemakers. If you escape on foot instead of horseback, Arthur's horse will find him, prompting a hidden scene. A short walk in a pretty town. Early indications of the ambush are shown by all the stores on the main strip being closed and inaccessible. Blood feuds, ancient and modern. During the attack on the Braithwaite Manor, you can find a letter from Catherine Braithwaite to Angelo Bronte, indicating her financial problems, leading to Jack's kidnapping as collateral. The Battle of Shady Belle. Before you reach the last guy in the bedroom upstairs, you can partake in a hidden knife fight with the person before him. Let's move on to chapter 4, Shady Belle. The joys of civilization. You can catch the street urchin early if you take a different route, introducing an entirely different scene.
You little bastard!
I was just playing!
Give me my things back.
Get off me, mister! I'm a good boy, I wash!
Give me my things.
Here!
Angelo Bronte, a man of honor. After retrieving young Jack, he tells of a few Italian words he learns. His mispronunciation of each word is intentional by Rockstar, because of his young age. Fatherhood and other dreams. Mary will comment on Arthur's appearance, depending on his weight, clothing, and the last time he bathed. No, no, and thrice no. After capturing Anthony Foreman, if you spare him, he will later appear as a bounty in the epilogue, with dialogue showing that John remembers just exactly who he is. The Gilded Cage. Arthur doesn't have to go straight to the mission point, he can both mingle and interact with many of the guests. A fine night of debauchery. If Arthur's honor level is high, he will wear a blue tie. If it's low, he will wear a red one. Horsemen, apocalypses. During the O'Driscoll ambush, John will grab and take Jack to safety. Urban pleasures. This is the only job in the game where the camp doesn't receive a share of the takings, most likely due to the small amount accrued. Country pursuits. Pre-release screenshots show that it was intended for Bill Williamson to partake in the mission instead of Dutch. American fathers. You don't have to hide inside the wagon. You can sneak in through multiple different ways, as long as you stay out of sight. Revenge is a dish best eaten. Dutch's line to John after killing Angelo Bronte, saying it was either him or us, so it might as well be him, is replicated somewhat in the first Red Dead Redemption by John, when he catches up with Javier Escuela.
I don't know.
Well, I do. It ain't nice. I know it. But it is us or him. I figure it might as well be him.
Banking, the old American art. Lenny's death is the only one from the entire gang that doesn't occur in a cutscene. Continuing into Chapter 5, Guarma. Welcome to the new world. If you fall behind or intentionally hold up the chain gang, you will be beaten. Continue to do so will result in Arthur being killed. A kind of benevolent despot. If you jump the gun and try to rescue Javier too early, it will trigger a hidden scene where he is killed. Savagery unleashed. When captured and beaten, if Arthur fails to escape the chair in time, a scene will play where he is murdered. Hell have no fury. The title of this mission is derived from a line in the 1697 tragedy The Mourning Bride, with the actual quote reading as follows: "Heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. Paradise mercifully departed." This is the first mission where we see Arthur's eyes are bloodshot, indicating that tuberculosis is well on its way. Dear Uncle Tacitus, you can skip the entire Shady Belle interaction with the Pinkertons if you head straight to Lakay instead. Fleeting joy. After the battle, Micah quickly silences the last remaining Pinkerton agent to protect his cover of working for the agency. A fork in the road. If Arthur has no money, or at least not enough, the kind stranger will give him some so he can pay the doctor's bills.
Here we are, friend.
Will I need money?
Here. Take this.
Oh, thank you.
That's Murphy country. Dutch's ramblings to himself, where he's stating chess moves, is a famous chess play, and is called Dutch's Defense. Icarus and Friends. If Arthur is wearing a legendary animal hat during the hot air balloon ride, the pilot Bullard will comment on it jokingly, saying that he likes to stand out in the clouds.
And may I say, a bold choice of hat, sir. I'm all for rising above the crowd, and the clouds, for that matter.
Yeah, very good, Mr. Bullard.
Now Chapter 6, Beaver Hollow. Visiting hours. If Arthur met Heston Jameson at the party during a gilded cage, the dialogue will be different when he's marching the prison guard up to the main gate. Just a social call. Javier Escuela was supposed to be part of this mission, as shown by the original artwork before the game's release. A rage unleashed. Dutch suffers his second major head injury here, further adding to his unstable ways. The first was during the heist at the trolley station. The delights of Van Horn. You can find a man-made rat experiment in the upstairs window of the house where you meet Micah, another indication of him being the gang's rat. The fine art of conversation. If you have completed the Of Men and Angels side quest, Sister Calderon will be at the train station. If not, then you'll meet Reverend Swanson instead.
Reverend, what are you doing here?
I'm leaving.
Goodbye, dear friend. The police uniforms worn are blue, although the one Dutch hands Arthur in the cutscene is actually black. Favoured sons. The speech that Dutch gives before jumping off the cliff is replicated almost word for word before he jumps off the cliff near the end of the first game.
Can't fight nature, Captain. You can't fight change. You can't fight gravity. We can't always fight nature, John. We can't fight change. Can't fight gravity.
The bridge to nowhere. The dialogue between John and Arthur in this scene differs greatly depending on Arthur's honor level.
Now, I've done a lot of thinking. Look at us. Out here risking our necks, and for what exactly? For a silly idea that don't even exist. Look at us. Out here risking our necks, and for what exactly? For an idea that don't work no more.
How you mean?
You know just what I mean.
Mrs. Sadie Adler. Arthur can give Sadie instructions during the firefight with the O'Driscolls, although this is easily missed. The King's Son. This is the first time Arthur opens up to anyone in the gang about his tuberculosis. It's during a conversation with Charles.
I didn't tell you before, but I saw a doctor. It's pretty bad. But it's gonna get worse.
Oh, Arthur.
My last boy. In this mission, it's the last time that Dutch calls Arthur his son, indicating that he has no love for him anymore. Our best selves. Arthur comments to Dutch about letting the women and children go, even though there is only one child, Jack. Red Dead Redemption. Javier is reluctant to pick a side, but eventually turns on Arthur because his gun is pointed at Dutch. And as promised, the epilogue, part 1. The Wheel. John uses the alias Jim Milton for the first time, inspired by real-life poet John Milton, whose poem, Paradise Lost, was the inspiration for the title of the Chapter 5 mission, Paradise Mercifully Departed. Simple pleasures. John comments to Jack that he's a long way from Angelo Bronte's mansion now, referring back to Chapter 4 of the game, some years earlier.
You're a long way from Angelo Bronte's mansion now.
Sorry, sir?
Nothing.
Fatherhood for beginners. If you push Jack to go too fast on his horse, he will get bucked. If you try to push him again, he will express that he has learnt his limits. Farming for beginners. Tom Dickens sees right through John's false alias from the start, and finally admits to it in this mission. Old habits. Stephen Ogg, who we know as the portrayer of Trevor Phillips in GTA 5, was mistakenly thought to be a Laramie thug, and confirmed via Twitter that this was in fact not him. Jim Milton rides again. This title takes inspiration from the original game's mission, Landon Ricketts rides again. Fatherhood for idiots. If the player has yet to complete Jim Milton rides again, this will be the first time John uses a firearm in the epilogue. Motherhood. This is the first time that we get to see John Marston in his infamous cowboy outfit. Gainful employment. When entering Strawberry, Sadie tells John to interrogate the townsfolk, but if he follows her instead, you see her questioning people herself and getting the answer.
How can I help you, Lassie?
Lassie, give me a break. You seen a fella from New York name of Nathan Kirk?
Home of the Gentry. Even though there are 3 different ways to complete this mission, the ending scene doesn't alter. And our final chapter today, Epilogue Part 2. Bare-knuckled friendships. There is an unused cutscene in the game showing John and Uncle travelling to Riggs Station first, but was later cut to them just arriving by train. Home improvement for beginners. This is the shortest mission not only in-game, but in the entire Red Dead series. An honest day's labours. If John has previously worked as a bounty hunter for Sheriff Freeman of Tumbleweed, he will mention it to Sadie during this mission. The toolbox. Mr. Devon holsters a Cattleman revolver in the cutscene, but uses a double-action revolver during the ambush, a possible oversight by Rockstar. A New Jerusalem. The Blue Jay appears frequently in the scene, with many believing it's a reincarnation of Arthur. A quick favour for an old friend. This is Robal's second appearance in the game. The first was a deck collection, all the way back in Chapter 2. Uncle's Bad Day. When tracking Uncle, John can either kill the wagon driver or spare him. Charles will express differently depending on his choice. A really big bastard. During this mission, it's the only time that John uses the F word in the entire game. A new future imagined. Although the Blue Jay does not appear when John plans to propose to Abigail, a young in-love couple appear across the street from John, dressed in the same colours as the bird. American Venom. There's a hidden inscription on Shady's gun that reads, "Vengeance is hereby mine." Guys, you've been listening to Phil from Philby Gaming. I understand that a few of them were pretty quick fire, but I didn't want the video to go on too extensively. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. I have an Instagram if you wish to get in touch too, that's at Philby Gaming. The link will be in the video description, or simply just use the comment section below. This video was created because of you guys voting for it, so please let me know if you wish to see anything specific, and I'll do my best to put something together for you all. Thank you to those who made it to the end, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.